Coming up on today's show, we're going to provide an injury update on Marcus Smart. But first, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, sub for Celtics Dubs. It is playoff season in Boston, and we're trying to reach 14,500 subscribers. And if we get there by the end of the month, I'm told by the bosses that we will not have to go into subscriber-only mode. So be sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Playoff season in Boston. I am Will Scott. Welcome in to Celtics Today. We're going to get into some news and rumors ahead of tomorrow's game against the Atlanta Hawks. Game 1 of round 1. You're talking about the NBA playoffs. It all begins tomorrow at TD Garden in Boston. Tip at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Celtics are the 2 seed. The Hawks are the 7 seed. After defeating the Miami Heat in the play-in game, they went to Miami, upset the Heat as the 8th-ranked team in the East to earn the 7 seed. So that game is going to be tomorrow. The Celtics actually swept the Hawks in the regular season series, winning 3-0. So Atlanta may not match up too well against the Celtics, but obviously the regular season right now, you can put that in the rearview mirror. It's all about what's happening right now when the NBA playoffs begin tomorrow. Now, will the Celtics be without Marcus Smart? He missed the end of the regular season with a left neck strain. Here's what he said about his status for this weekend. My neck is doing fine, still a little sore, but I'm keeping up with my treatments and strengthening my neck muscles to make sure this doesn't reoccur. But as of right now, it's good. Physically, I wouldn't say 100%, but pretty close. I haven't been able to say that in a while. It feels good to say that. And, of course, Marcus has dealt with not just the neck, but some other injuries this season, so it's good to have him back. And having Smart face Trae Young is going to be very important for this Celtics team because Marcus Smart's one of the best defensive players in the NBA, and Trae Young is arguably one of the best scorers in the NBA. And, of course, Smart won Defensive Player of the Year last year, so having him face Trae Young is very important. Having him on the floor is going to be huge. He is going to be available for Game 1 tomorrow. Taking a look at the numbers here, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, Atlanta's backcourt, you have Trae Young averaging over 26 points per game, Murray over 20 points per game. Trae Young, 10.2 assists per game, Murray 6.1 assists per game, rebounds per game, Murray at 5.4, Young at 3, Trae Young 1.1 steals per game, Murray 1.5 steals per game. What I'm looking at, though, when I'm looking at these stats, Trae Young leads the NBA with 4.1 turnovers per game. He turns the ball over a lot. If you can contain him, frustrate him, this is going to be a short series, maybe even Celtics in 4. Taking a look at some keys to victory in this series. Number 1 is to take care of business at home. If you go up 2-0, this series is pretty much over. Number 2, Jason Tatum being Jason Tatum. What do I mean by that? Him putting up over 30 points. Because when the Celtics win games, you look at this box score more often than not, Jason Tatum put together a Jason Tatum performance. Number 3 is to get rebounds. You got a tough matchup against Clint Capella. Al Horford and Robert Williams have got to step up. Clint Capella had 21 rebounds in the Hawks win in Miami the other night. Number 4, again, is to frustrate Trae Young. Kind of put him in some difficult situations. And I expect the Boston crowd to certainly play a factor of these first couple of games. Marcus Smart said this about the team's mindset ahead of the postseason. We're back to pissed off. We're happy and we're smiling here, but we're still getting ready. We're having fun with it. But Saturday, when we step on that court, you're not going to see many smiles. So let me know, who do you got down in the comment section? Type BOS for the Celtics or ATL for the Hawks. Who do you got in the series? I'm going with Celtics in 4. It's a relatively easy call for me. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, chime in, type BOS for the C's or ATL for the Hawks. Bleacher Report put out this article about some free agency predictions that they had. They predicted where the 3 Celtics free agents would end up this summer. Before we get into that, be sure to pick up your playoff merch if you haven't already at chatsports.com/banner18. That shirt's pretty cool because it has the 1-8 there for unfinished business. You love to see it. That's my favorite shirt. Go get this one as well. A couple shirts to choose from. Also a hat that you can go pick up. I think that hat's getting to me tomorrow. If we could show that hat trace. Chatsports.com/banner18. That's all right. Plenty of merch to choose from at that link below. Chatsports.com/banner18. That link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Let's get into that Bleacher Report article breaking down some of the Celtics free agents. And we begin, all of the Celtics free agents, all three of them, with Blake Griffin. Where is Blake Griffin going to end up this summer, if not Boston? Bleacher Report predicts Blake Griffin to sign with the Phoenix Suns. And, he hasn't played that much for the Celtics. When he has played, he's been good, but there's probably just not going to be room for him on next year's roster. He was signed kind of right after the Danilo Gallinari news that he was going to miss the whole year. So they're predicting Blake Griffin to go and sign with the contending Phoenix Suns. The next free agent, Mike Muscala, he is on a team option, which means the Celtics have to make a call whether or not to pick up his $3.4 million option for next season. In my opinion, it's an easy call to do that, and Bleacher Report agrees. Their prediction is that the Celtics are going to pick up Mike Muscala's option to return to Boston next year. Of course, Muscala was acquired at the trade deadline. Here's what he's done in 20 games with the C's. 5.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, shooting 47.2% from the floor, 38.5% from three. He was unique in the fact he's a kind of a stretch five that can't shoot the three ball. That's what the Celtics needed at the deadline, and they got him from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, do you want to keep Mike Muscala? Type K for keep or type L for let go down in the comment section. Go down and let me know. I mean, considering that the option's relatively cheap, I think you got to bring him back. I'm typing K for keep. Grant Williams, probably the most notable Celtics free agent. He is a restricted free agent, which means the Celtics could match any offer he gets in free agency, and apparently he's going to want north of $15 million per year, which is maybe a little bit much. Bleacher Report said this: there is undoubtedly a universe in which Grant Williams takes the money and runs out of Boston this offseason. We just almost assuredly don't live in it. Boston knows Al Horford isn't getting any younger and has no reason to believe Robert Williams III's injury issues are going away. Letting go of a high-level depth piece might be roster malpractice. If his next contract is reasonable, the Celtics will be the ones signing his checks. Bleacher Report's prediction is that he is going to sign elsewhere, but Boston matches the offer sheet. Grant Williams will be back in Boston next year, is what Bleacher Report is predicting. But what do you predict? Will Grant Williams be back in Boston next year? Y for yes or in for no down in the comment section. Go down, chime in. I'm not as convinced as Bleacher Report that he's going to be back. He wants a lot of money, and I'm not sure the Celtics are going to match that offer sheet. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, the playoffs begin tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time tip against the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to have you covered throughout the playoffs, so hit that subscribe button below.